Hello, everyone. I just got a question for you. What if the very challenges meant to hold you back become the key to building your empire? Hi, I'm Julianne Meyer, and today on Seizing Your Greatness, we welcome Amanda Taylor. She's the powerhouse behind Expand Your Empire, where she's redefining wealth building for ambitious women. As a chief empire officer, she transforms traditional investing mindsets, guiding women toward financial independence through private equity, real estate syndications, and strategic business acquisitions. Her own journey through divorce ignited a mission to turn society's financial limitations on women into unstoppable strengths. So get ready for a bold conversation on wealth, power, and the future of financial freedom. Amanda Taylor, welcome to the show.
Hello. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. I have been admiring you for quite some time. How you show up in the world and how you help women, because we are definitely an underserved community. And, both of us have not had perfect lives. And I'm assuming that most of the women watching can also attest to that as well. So the fact that you have used challenges to your advantage is, of course, inspiring to all of us. So thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
So let's start out. I've got a question for you. It's pretty basic, though. Basic. I'm curious, and I'm sure the audience is as well. Why finances? It is such a male-dominated society, or this, I don't know how you even put it, like industry, that to get into it is not the easiest, but is that why, or what really drew you to it?
Yeah, that's exactly why. I accidentally fell into real estate investing, which is mostly male dominated industry, as an assistant. I was the paper. I did the back office stuff and ended up falling in love with it. And I was like, why am I making money for all these other men? Why don't I start my own company and do it myself? And I did. And so that was like the first thing. And then you talk about the divorce, and it's like, okay, well, he had the retirement plan. I don't. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have a 401k. No employer is contributing to my retirement plan. So I'm responsible for this. And I took charge. I was like, I went out and I sought the information that I needed to find out how to build wealth outside of just having a company. And do it that way. So that's exactly what it was. It's like, nobody's coming to save us. Like, let's go out and let's figure out how to do it. And yeah, that societal norm of, oh, he just takes care of the finances. I don't do that. It just really got me fired up. And it was like, no, we have a say, we have a voice. Our input matters. And statistically, we're better at it. So
It's interesting too, because I do have a very good friend that I've known since childhood, and she's in the finance world as well. And her husband passed away, and we were probably maybe 40 at the time. I mean, super young. And even she was struggling with, okay, now how do I deal with this? And how do I move forward? And he brought in this much money, even though she was technically the breadwinner. So I think that what you are teaching and how you're showing up in the world is beneficial for pretty much everyone, but I'm so glad that you're focusing on women. You and I were talking privately a while ago, and we were talking about being seen. And in this world, especially this male dominated, I mean, even outside of finance, it's male dominated pretty much everywhere you go. But how do you make yourself seen without feeling like exposed? Does that make sense?
It took me a while. Everybody's like, you have to be. I was not a social media person. I don't think anybody cares what I'm doing, frankly. Like, who cares where I went for dinner or whatever? But when it came to my business, it did take me a while to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. That whole imposter syndrome thing, right? We're like, well, other people are doing it too, and probably better. So why would I post about it? But I don't know. I just kept doing it. And I kept talking. And it's like, I tell people, I was like, I just keep running my mouth, and people seem to like what I have to say. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I get more and more passionate about it, which makes me more confident. So I do show up. And it's funny, somebody interviewed me on a podcast, and they're like, if you were going out on stage to speak, what would be your theme song? And I was like, it would be Joan Jett. And then I thought about it more, and I was like, Bad Reputation. And I don't give a damn about my bad reputation. It's like, I had to grow up. You talk about being in your 40s and evolving and all these things, and be like, what other people think of me is none of my business. Like, I am
Mhm.
here. I am on a mission. I have a passion to help women, learn this stuff and change their lives. So the people that like me are going to like me. The people that don't. But those aren't my people. So here we are.
Exactly. I had a business coach a while back who said if you're not offending at least one person, then,
You're doing something wrong.
you're not big enough. So you need to get yourself out there more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I've always loved that because it's like, all right, suit up, show up, as they say in the addiction world. And, it's not for me, it's for them. And so you just showing up, you have no idea who you're affecting because when I said something to you, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. And I'm
So,
a real person. I'm not an MBA. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't sell any finance product. I'm
mhm.
just a person who learned as much as I could to, help myself. And then I was like, wait a minute, nobody knows about this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I show up as me. I don't
Yeah.
pretend to know everything. I bring in experts to help. And yeah, I'm just like, I'm a normal person. I dropped finance in college because I didn't get it. So, I
That's
mean,
fascinating.
yeah,
Wow.
brilliant.
There's somebody else that would say this, and I think it's kind of brilliant. You don't necessarily have a degree in that, but you have a doctorate in results.
Absolutely.
And, to me, when it all comes down to it, who am I going to go to? I'm probably going to go to you because you're real
Yeah.
and you do get results. So tell us a little bit about this community that you're growing.
Yeah. Expand your empire. I started it as a real estate investing kind of course because, you're building an empire portfolio. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, wait, there's so much more out there for people to invest in, that outside of that 401k S&P 500 world. And I'm like, we need a centralized place to learn about all of it because what if you're not into real estate investing? I was like, and then I watched a documentary, Show Her the Money, and I saw that less than 2% of venture capital went to female owned businesses. And I'm like, okay, we're going big with this now. So I have partnered with venture capital firms that are female owned and or female funded and female focused, private equity. I have precious metals. I have crypto. I have whole life insurance. I have all these alternative investment vehicles that I've brought in that I am introducing people to on that, non-intimidating level. Let's
Mhm.
learn the terminology. Let's learn what kind of risk is in each one of these buckets and what kind of returns we're going to get. Because, my motto is education and intimidation have an inverse relationship. And I think a lot of women are just so intimidated
Mhm.
because honestly, 40 years ago, a woman wasn't allowed to have a credit card without her husband's or dad's permission. I mean, we're not that far removed. So it's just not in us to have that knowledge. We just default to oh, that's his thing. So I just want to make it accessible to everybody.
I love that. And something that you just said that I want to point out to those that are listening and watching is that it's not one size fits all with you. Like the principles are the same, but where you want to put your money and how you want to invest is solely up to you. What are your thoughts on the idea of investing in things that you truly understand versus things that are like a flash in the pan or maybe haven't have the I don't know, the backing to have the longevity and understand whether or not it really truly works.
Right. And it's totally, I answer all these questions as it depends. And it does. And, I have a workbook like this 7-day financial confidence challenge because, yeah, men do like to, just statistically, I'm not just making this up. They like to chase the shiny new thing, right? That promises the big returns. But, you know, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, but also the bigger chance to fail.
Mhm.
And you want to do your research. You want it, like, real estate is secured by an actual piece of property that has a little more security. Precious metals, same thing. That is an actual piece of gold or silver that you
Mhm.
can invest in. I will admit I don't know everything, and I really am starting my journey to learn about crypto. It it intimidates me. I'm confused by it, so I'm going to learn about it. And I want to know that this is real. This is nothing is risk free, right? We
Mhm.
all get that. But I do know that it's growing. I do know that they're putting, more regulations on it. They're finding ways to insure it. That makes me more comfortable. So it is all about, it depends on your level of risk tolerance, what aligns with your values.
Mhm.
How much liquidity do you need? Do you want it tied up for a long time, or do you need, monthly interest payments, or do you need to be able to pull it out and put it back in? There's so much that goes with the investment other than just, oh, that's cool. I want to do that. you know?
Exactly. Because I'm an intuitive person, and a lot of women are in general. And it served me well. But the older I get, the more I realize how important this education truly is. Because why wouldn't I stack the odds in my favor if I can?
And you said it right there. You're intuitive, and women are. Our brains are wired that way. It is neuroscience, and that is why women outperform men in their portfolios across the board. It's a little amount, but compounded over time, that makes a huge difference, right?
Mhm.
Because we're not risk averse, but we are risk aware, and we take our time to do our due diligence and to really educate ourselves and measure the long-term effects of something. And so that's why we're better at it. It
I
is.
love that. We're ruling, and whether we want to or not.
Whether we want to or not, it's just the way we were made. So let's do it, baby.
And it's not a matter of better or worse. It's a matter of stepping into our strengths. And I
Correct.
just wanted to point that out to the men who might
Yes.
have their
I
feathers a
am
little
not
ruffled.
I'm not a male bashing
No, no, no.
feminist at all. I want us to step into our power. I want us to own it, and I want us to get confident in
Yes.
it so that we can see those results.
So, there's a few things that you've said that I really want to touch on. One is this idea of it depends, and also building confidence. And I'm curious when it comes to women. I mean, because everything and everyone is so different in where they are and their confidence level and knowledge, etc. There's got to be some sort of things that you get asked the most often, or something that you notice about women in general that you could say, hey, I wish I could fix this or educate this because this would make all the difference in your world. What would one thing like that be for you?
Yeah, I tell people, because people are like, oh, I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting around that I could invest with. You don't need it.
Mhm.
There is, fractional real estate. There's all kinds of ways you can get into, you can buy precious metals with as little as $10. Like, you
Oh.
can start small, and you start getting returns, and you start building that confidence. There's even the Acorn app. If you use your debit card and your coffee's 350, they'll put 50 cents into an investment, and it's little, but you build that confidence and you grow. And then I tell everybody, the number one thing is, if you have a bank savings account at your Chase Bank or Bank of America and you're putting money in there to save, you are losing money every day. Go, at least, if you do nothing else, go get a high yield savings account. I mean, it makes a huge difference from maybe 1%, maybe at the bank, to right now they're at like 4 or 4.25.
Oh, wow. That
Yeah.
is a huge difference, and something that the average person might not really even be aware of. Wow, that's yeah, because I have a regular savings account and I barely put money in it because I'm like, it doesn't do anything. So
It's
why would I
not
keep
working for
it
me. I
there?
want it working for me while I'm asleep. I mean, you earn
Exactly.
money in your business or in your career, but you make money through your investments. And that's what I
Ooh.
want people to understand.
Yes, you earn money through your career and you make money through your investments. I wanted to repeat that simply because that was pure gold. And in case somebody happened to not really be like
Yeah.
paying attention, they needed to catch that because there is a distinction.
Yeah. You're trading time for money in your business.
Exactly.
And all
Exactly.
you're doing is just letting your money work for you over here.
Oh, I love that. And plus, when you are an entrepreneur, which a lot of the people watching are, We all know that you can't put all your eggs in one basket because you just never know what's going to fail, what isn't, what's going to jump out, and what is just not you. The thing you swear was going to work is usually the last thing to work.
Yeah.
But by doing this, you don't you feel like a little more free to be able to make more bold decisions in your business because you know you're going to be okay?
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, it's not about money.
Yeah.
It's about choice.
Yeah.
Having that gives you that power of choice on how you want to live, on what you want to do, on the freedom that you have in your business, even like the chances you get to take.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's about the power of choice.
Oh, see, you are speaking my language. I read Will Smith's biography or whatever it
Oh,
was a
yeah.
while back. And in it, he said something that always stuck with me, and it was scared money doesn't make money.
That's
And that
absolutely.
really, yeah, because you have this sense of desperation. People can feel
Yeah.
that.
And you're holding on so tight, you're not letting it do what it's supposed to do. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Very
So
true.
with this community, I'm going to pop up this website again because this is where people can really find you, right? And like sort of grow with you and learn from you.
Mhm.
So,
Everything's on there, my community, my courses. We've got Investing 101, like I said, just basic terminology, all the way to specifics for growing a real estate portfolio or even finding revenue in your business that you didn't know was there because you're not measuring your finances or your data right. So there's lots of
oh,
good stuff on there.
something I would like to point out too is I have a very intelligent aunt. She was one of the top 10 CPAs in the United States. And so I've been very fortunate in learning things that other people might not necessarily learn. But what I'm telling the people that are watching right now is what you are offering is better than that. Because what she does is take care of the money that you give her.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't teach you how to, she or he or whomever doesn't
Right.
teach you how to invest and how to grow and how to do it with confidence and sort of get out of your own way.
Yeah. And you do need that because let's say you want to take out from one of your investments, you need a tax strategist to tell you what
Mhm.
the either penalty or capital gains tax you're going to have on that. And I have a tax strategist that I will bring into my courses to kind of give you a full overview. You got to know what you're getting into and what's going to happen when you get out of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a just more education all around. Like I didn't realize that in the state of California, I need to be paying quarterly, and or if I don't, then I will get fined because I'm
Yep.
not paying quarterly. What? What you mean paying my taxes once a year isn't good enough, even if I pay it all?
Yeah.
What?
You're giving them an interest free loan. Anyway.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I know. Nails on a
Yeah.
chalkboard.
Anyway.
So just a more personal kind of fun question for you. You mentioned real estate, and I'm kind of totally obsessed with real estate. What is different from what you do versus, say, like flipping? Or
I
is it
do
what you do flipping?
so there are so many ways to invest in real estate. It's not all like HGTV, flip this house or whatever. That's fun. I do it. I've done it a lot. It's great. There is, buy and hold. So you can do some creative financing to get a house. You fix it up if it needs it, and then you rent it out. So the benefit of that is you get the monthly cash flow and the appreciation of the house. So you're getting money in two ways. You can invest with other fix and flippers. You can loan them money to do their projects at usually 12 to 14%. And if you have a savings account or some kind of other policy that's paying you 4 or 5%, you're just making money off the money you're making. It keeps going. It's great. So, I mean, that's just three things that I do within real estate to consider it investing: rental properties, flipping houses, and loaning out hard money loans for real estate.
I love that. Yeah, I'm going to say I'm a huge HGTV fan, and I thought I wanted to flip houses until I started watching Windy City Rehab, and I thought, oh, nope. When I started seeing like all the things that can go wrong, but I like that idea that it doesn't have to be that and still be a part of real estate, because
Correct.
I don't know that that's something that I ultimately would want to do, because I'm too hands on. I can't. It would be a full time job for me if I were to start flipping, because I don't think I could let go of control.
Yeah. And I mean, I can do some little stuff. I can do electrical outlets, light switches, light fixtures. I can do some toilets and stuff. But you don't want me in there like laying tile for you. It's going to go all over the place.
That's funny.
So,
That's the one thing I have done. I mean, I've torn down walls. I'm very. You should know my dad, though. I grew up. I was 3 years old, and he taught me how to use a metal lathe at 3 years old. So I'm what you could say handy.
okay. Well, I'll bring you in. I got a project right now in California.
Well, yeah, right. Exactly. We are already almost running out of time. We only have about 5 minutes left, not even. So I'm curious, I've asked you a lot of questions that I'm curious about, and I know the audience is curious about, but what is something you wish I would have asked you?
Oh gosh, I don't
I
know.
know.
I think the thing that I like to talk about is, just from knowing me, that I'm super into health and wellness. I love to work out. I love to lift weights. It's something that I love, and I know a lot of people don't. But what I'm noticing, and I had several conversations this weekend when we were talking about, earning money through a whole life insurance policy, what we're finding is our health now in this country is so poor, people are not able to qualify for life insurance. So we're not able to take advantage of the wealth building opportunities because our health is so poor. And
Mm.
then I started thinking, well, even if you are building this wealth, what's going to happen when you get into a position where you are not healthy enough to A, enjoy it, and B, it's all going to long-term care or some other, medical treatment for that. So I'm a huge advocate for taking care of your body in all the ways, just so that you can live a gloriously wonderful, happy life and enjoy all the work that you're putting in now to grow that wealth. So
You
I
bring
think it
up.
goes hand in hand.
Yeah, they really do. And you don't know this about me, but back when I was running a gym, the health and wellness department, and I was doing races and I was doing all these things. And then kind of got more into the coaching aspect of teaching people. Something I would always do for my clients is, how big is your business goal? And let's set a physical goal to match it, because how you do one thing is how you do all things. And it really gets you there faster on all fronts. And most people are like, well, I don't have time. I'm like, you don't have time not to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
You
think that
have
that
time
is
for what you make time for.
exactly. There's time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. How are you going to spend yours? Did you spend it scrolling socials, or did you go to the gym?
Mhm.
I mean, it
Yeah.
really does come down to that. Um, you know, I'm so glad that you brought that up, because it really is. If you're not well, you can't even make the right mental decisions because your brain's foggy, you're not feeling well. When
Yeah.
have you ever done like the best decision making when you weren't feeling well?
Right.
Yeah, no, I love that. And we have time for one more question before we go,
Mhm.
and that would be, let me think here. I want to ask an investing question,
Okay.
and that question would be, if somebody who is new to investing and wants to dip their toe in. You mentioned that you don't necessarily have to invest that much, but maybe somebody wants to invest a little bit more. They have a little more money that they want to play with, but they're not really sure where to start. Where would they want to start for themselves? Because I know everybody is different and they have to make the choice. So what would you tell that person?
I think the easiest, best place to start would be a cash value life insurance policy. Everybody needs life insurance. So
Mm-hmm.
you might as well be making money with it. These things pay compounding interest of like 5 to 5.5%. and you get to borrow against that policy whenever you want. So you
Uh-huh.
get to use arbitrage, which people, if you don't know what that means, it means you get to make more money than you're using. So you're just building on it. And that thing is constantly growing. And you have a benefit to protect your assets and take care of your family. Number one, right there. And then you can use that to invest in other things. So I think that's the best place to start. Highly recommend.
Oh, I love that. Amanda, thank you so much for being on the show today. It was really quick. It always is, but it seemed extra fast today. So thank you so much. And to those that are watching, we will see you again next week on Thursday. Until then, enjoy your week.